Broner, I'm sending love to Adrian Broner right now. And look, we mess up a lot in life. That's part of life. We make mistakes. But AB man be struggling with all kinds of crap right now, and I want to show him some support. I don't care what y'all guys say out there. You know, I want to see AB get back on his feet, and I want to see him doing that boxing. Boxing is a sport where you got to be disciplined. That's all. But all of us have inner demons, man. All of us have things we're fighting with. All right, all of us. So we shouldn't try to scapegoat this dude. You know what I mean? Um, I'm wishing him well. I'm still wishing he can get his career together and keep on pushing. The 140-pound division is still open. Um, but my dude need to gotta get his drinking in check. You gotta get your drinking in check, bro. If you gotta go into rehab, whatever you need to do, bro. That thing's controlling you. You're not controlling it right now. And that drinking is as a result of maybe the disappointments in his life, the brokenness. Nobody's really supporting him. You don't feel so. Some people are supporting him, but they have to handle other things as well. And in this world, you know how it is in this world. Nobody give a damn about you. No, they really don't care about you. Where are the fans now? Where are the AB fans? Huh? Where are the AB fans? You know what I'm saying? But you know what? I'm going to roll with this brother. And I want to see him win. I'm sending some love out here. And hopefully we as fans can rally around this guy and see if he can get some help. All right? Because he's obviously, by putting this stuff out in public, he's trying to get people aware of what he's fighting against. And this is one of those things. I'm sure there's several others. But that's not something that's unique to only AB alone. Okay? I told y'all guys how I fought. I still fight, and I ain't got a problem saying this with online pornography and that kind of stuff. I say it publicly so people know. Now, it's a common thing, yes, but nonetheless, I fight with my inner demons when it comes to cursing and swearing and being somebody who is, I almost sabotage myself. Sometimes I feel like I'm making all these steps forward and then I sabotage myself. And I got no problem speaking about these things, even though they're very shameful things. It's not things I'm proud of. I don't feel good at saying them. But I say it to be an open book to other people to say, hey, look, AB ain't the only guy out here that got those kinds of problems and addictions and all those things. A lot of us do. Right? So we shouldn't take our crap and put it on AB like if he's the scapegoat for everybody out here. Let's be real. Lots of boxers do all kinds of stupid stuff. Okay? And you don't tell people they don't go public with it. This kid, he got the balls to try to reach out while he's in his funk. And he's really trying hard. I ain't going to make it. I believe he's going to make it out of this funk. Because he's being as honest as he can, open as he can. In a way, he's crying out for help. He's being as real as he could possibly be. So the world will at least know, hey, boxers have problems. We've learned that boxers have anxiety syndrome. Boxers have punch drunk syndrome. Boxers have violent sides of themselves. So this is why you get domestic abuse. Boxers have problems with, what's the word that Ryan Garcia spoke about? I forgot what it is. Mental health issues. They got mental health issues. But of course, I mean, I'm gonna say something that's gonna sound funny, but a lot of boxes happen. I say it again. If you're gonna go into boxing, you probably have mental health issues to start with. Because it takes a certain mindset to want to take punches and give punches, okay? All right? But nothing's wrong with that, nonetheless. At least you're putting it into a positive outlet instead of beating up people or, being some kind of killer, serial killer, some kind of crazy thing, gang warfare or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good outlet to help save lives. It saves a lot of lives, by the way. The sport, even if it's you're fighting in the amateurs or whatever, it helps bring discipline. So AB had all these problems for a long time, and you know he's sorting it out. I hope he succeeds. You know, he's a really nice guy, from what I hear. He's a really nice guy. He's a genuine, really nice guy. And you know he's so multi-talented too. He's got all these gifts. You know, he can rap. You know, he's a great entertainer. He can fight. He's funny. He can be a comedian. You know, this guy can do it all. He's got immense ability, and so I don't think that. I really hope the hate towards Adrian Broner. I really hope people can look within themselves and say, why do I hate this guy? Why do I really hate this guy? Isn't he telling the truth most of the time? Every time he opens his mouth, he does say something honest and sincere from the heart, right? So why am I hating on this guy? You know, I think that Adrian Broner is bringing up a lot of topics. Ryan Garcia brings up a lot of topics that are actually common these days. I know of somebody whose friend just recently died last week. They committed suicide. All right, and it's getting more and more common. And it's mental health issues. It's people suffering from depression. Of course, the economy doesn't help the situation. And then the way how the world is going with, you know, COVID and just how negative that was to a lot of people. People didn't know how to channel their energies into something positive and make the situation, make the negative situation something positive for themselves. And, you know, for those of you who may be Christians or you may be some sort of religious person with some sort of spiritual upbringing, you will find that if you have something to kind of keep you going forward, because you're not attached just to certain things or people's approval or whatever. But for the other people out there who don't have that, this is where they kind of, you know, the thing that they may have been holding on to, that's starting to crumble, and they crumble with it. Sometimes it's approval of friends. Sometimes it is a loneliness. Sometimes it is you're dealing with financial situations. Your finances go down, so you go down with it. You kill yourself because your finances are not in order. And there are just so many different things sometimes that trigger people to want to go into depression, to commit suicide, whether it's relationships. Your relationship was violated probably with a girlfriend or boyfriend or wife or husband, and that causes you to want to take your life. I mean, people take their life for all kinds of things, okay? Sometimes the situation is so stressful. Like, you know, I think of Zack Snyder's daughter, how she took her life. Some people are predisposed to being suicidal because of the depression in their lives, for whatever reason. Sometimes it's they don't know who their true parents are, or it's all kinds of things that go on, right, with people, and trigger them to want to. I also tried to commit suicide myself, so I understand that perspective and how things can happen with people. All right, and so what you need is not. I'm not here to condemn Adrian Broner and put him on the chopping block like a lot of you guys are, or rejoice that he's suffering. I don't think that's cool at all. I think he's a real guy, and I think, you know, he came into some money and stuff. Maybe he has it, maybe he doesn't, whatever. His situation's been difficult, up and down, seesawing and all that. Some of it's his doing, some of it is not. I'm just saying, we gotta be more caring out here, man. The world needs more care. I was watching a video of a gentleman who encourages people to sing. He know all kinds of songs. So once you call a song, he got the playlist out there, and he start playing the tune, and you can sing along with him. And I'm just saying, that helps, man, to brighten people's day. It helps their mental health. It helps their frame of mind, etc. This mental health thing is a common thing now. I say all of these things to say this, man, that God uses the poor, the weak, the helpless. And when I say poor, I mean poor in spirit, not necessarily financially poor, because Adrian Broner is not a financially poor guy. He's a millionaire, right? The poor in spirit, for us to be able to reach out and care. Because love and care is everything, man. And too many people out here don't care. And they don't love nothing and no one. They only care about themselves and their little clique. And that's it. They don't care about nobody else. You can't live like that, man. That's not life. Just everything, me. And you're trying to hoard everything to yourself. That's not life, man. Life, the beauty of life is sharing with other people. No matter who they are. Sometimes, in fact, when you share with your enemies, when you love your enemies, that goes even further. Because they not giving you no feedback. They got pure hate and they keeping it as if it's normal. But you showing love to them. That's the ultimate, man. You're always trying to do good. Even to those who doing evil. That's the ultimate, man. But anyway, I just wanted to comment on Adrian Broner because it troubles me. I was watching Andre Ward and he was, trying to give Adrian Broner some advice, work on yourself and stuff. And, don't bother about boxing, just work on yourself. That's bad advice, though, Ward. I know, no disrespect to you, Andre Ward, but you were encouraged to do the absolute opposite when you was in your funk. They was telling you you need to try and get to the Olympics and make sure you finish the Olympics. You make sure you box. And though life happened to you, God was able to arrange the thing so that you did that. Otherwise, you would have been in shit too. So, you giving the wrong advice to Adrian Broner. How can you give him the opposite of what happened with you, man? You had the same story. You was in some funk. You was dealing drugs. You was doing all kinds of shit. And then the people who really cared about you was keep on telling you got to go back to the boxing because boxing saved your life. And right now, the last thing Adrian Broner need to do is stop boxing. That's the last goddamn thing he needs to do. That's the only thing saving his life right now. Yes, he needs to get off his addiction. I'm going to say something to people. I learned. And God tells me this all the time. I'm going to be very blunt, so I'm going to use some very blunt language. Okay? If you got kids in the area, tell them cover their ears and walk away because I'm about to say some really blunt stuff. Okay? All right. Here goes. We fuck up all the time, man. We fuck up all the time. Even the best of us fuck up all the time. Right? Our sinful nature, the flesh, makes us fuck ourselves over all the time. We're fuck-ups. We're good at fucking up. Intentionally and otherwise. Okay? Now, when we were born again, we still got the same flesh on us. Our spirit changed, but our flesh was still weak. I say this to say this, so you guys will understand me clearly. Anybody who feels that they're in a better position than another guy, think again. There's a scripture that says, he that thinketh he standeth, take heed lest he fall. It's by the grace of God you standing right now. And the prayers of the saints is holding your ass up. Okay? And that goes for Andre Ward. Because just like that, you could be in the same position Adrian Broner is. Just like that. It takes just a trigger. The right trigger. And God protects his people. He don't let the devil just run ruction on you. Okay. You can bring the kids back because I'm done talking about that. So what I'm saying is, Adrian Broner is our brother. And for those of you who are colored people, he's your black brother. Just like if you was, let me talk to religious folk for a second. You were in church and the pastor doing all kinds of stupid stuff. He's sleeping with people. He's doing all kinds of stupid stuff to the congregation. And you just had to pray to God for mercy for him because he still tells truth when he goes up on the pulpit. And you praying for that brother that he don't go into jail. And you just watch him change from day to day and come into the likeness of Jesus Christ. You sometimes have to pray for people. And I don't mean in a derogatory way at all. I mean, let God do his thing. But in the meantime, while you biting your fingers and crossing your toes, wondering where this dude gonna go next, you pray for the brother. You pray for the sister. Like I said before. Now you're gonna tell you, move the children out again, because I'm about to say some foul language. We fuck up a lot, people. We really do. And it's sad. And it's nothing to be proud of. It's shameful. But at the end of the day, you still ask forgiveness and walk in the purpose to which God has given you. You don't, because if you stay in your funk and you don't continue in the purpose, the devil has succeeded in stopping you from accomplishing the purpose that God has for you. 2, you don't ask God for forgiveness. Now you're going on your own strength. So you're going to mess up even more. You need God to continue that walk with him. So what I'm trying to say is the last thing Adrian Broner needs to do is go away from boxing. He needs to stay in boxing because that's where his purpose lies. You take that away from him, what is he going to hold on to as he continues? Yes, you still go to therapy. Yes, you still go to rehab. But you box. And you rap. You keep on developing those gifts. You keep on honing those skills. You just don't associate with certain things that you used to. Gotta stop. And the beautiful thing about gifts is this. You can't use a gift and continue the same way in your life that you used to. At a certain point, God says, nope, you're not going to be allowed to do this anymore. And you're going to feel the wrath of the consequences for having that gift and mishandling it. And so it's a blessing that happens, because if we were just to continue in the gifts like we were going and still do all funk, we wouldn't change. We'd get worse and it would destroy us. But God won't allow that to happen. So you start to really feel the effects. So you will want to move away from the lifestyle you used to have. And that's what you're seeing with Adrian Broner. You're literally seeing the guy improve himself, actually growing out. If he gets enough patience with himself and he goes to rehab as well, and he realizes his addiction is a problem and he needs to handle it, it's actually a positive thing. I know we're in the middle stage of the ugly, but you're not realizing that the caterpillar is no longer a caterpillar. It's a pupa, and it's changing into a butterfly. So you have to understand where Adrian Broner is at. He's in a dangerous situation in that he could just tip one way or the other, but he's literally changing before our eyes. You got to get the ugly before the good come out, because you're being purged. And when you're being purged, pardon my French, you shit all over the place. A whole bunch of shit coming out of you. It's ugly. Okay? It don't look good, but it's part of the process of purging you. You got to clear out that body. You got to clean it. And the only way to cleanse it is to push the shit out. You can't have the shit living inside of you. So some things you're going to do are going to be horrendous. But something got to give. Something got to change. So I just wanted to talk about it. I love AB, man. AB a good dude. He's a good dude at heart. He's got a good heart. You know, he might say things a certain way, but he's a good person. I know I have neighbors around me. They're good people too. They have good hearts. You know, No matter what, you have to see the potential good in people, the skills and abilities they have. And people can say, oh, Adrian Broner, he squandered his abilities or whatever you want to say. But I'm going to say this at the end of the day. He's a human being like you and me. And guess what? All of us fuck up. All of us fuck up. Some of us be able to clean up on mess after we make it, and nobody knows. But all of us do it. Don't even try to pretend like you don't. The question is, what do you do afterwards? Right? So, what you need decided to talk about this. I spent more time on this than I did Jermall Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez, because I feel like this is something real that we need to remember. We need to be more merciful with each other, and we need to try to hold somebody's hand and encourage them to get better. Because guess what? This world is not ideal, and we got a lot of hurt people, and a lot of people trying to get up, rise up from their situation, and do some good. So we need to be more compassionate. All right, especially as fight fans. We're getting the opportunity to support this sport better than ever. Support Canelo versus Jermall Charlo. That's a hell of a fight, and that's a hell of a risk Jermall's taking. That pay-per-view should be off the charts. Crawford versus Spence. Pay-per-view should be off the charts. Adrian Broner, y'all need to give the guy a break. The guy's fought the who's who of boxing, man. Legendary Manny Pacquiao. 4-divisional champ Mikey Garcia. And pound-for-pound fighter. Came up short, sure, but he fought them. He wanted them. He went for those fights. And he gave y'all entertaining fights and entertaining pre-fights and post-fight commentary. The guy's always at every boxing fight. The guy's friends with a lot of boxers, and he tries to give them the best possible advice he can. Sometimes he says some crap, and sometimes he says good stuff. I'm trying to say something to you guys. Let's try not to tear down people, but to help them build up. It's harder to build up somebody than to tear them down. It is. All it takes is an ignorant statement that circulates as gossip. And you could temporarily tear down somebody's image. Temporarily. Truth will always come. Why do that? When you are a fan of the sport, you can just boost up your fighter and praise your fighter. Why do you have to tear down somebody else? I'm just saying. I'm going to catch you guys later. I am what you need. It's my second video for the day, probably my last one. Today, let's try to say something good and say something good or meaningful, even if it's critical or whatever, good or meaningful about other people. We need to care, man, people. We need this, man. Where is that? Where is that love, man? I'm serious. Everybody want to tear down. Everybody want to rip down. Where the love at, y'all? We need more of this. When guys putting their lives on the line, some of them coming out dead. Some of them can't move, walk, or talk. Some of them punch drunk, meaning their nervous system is wrecked. All for your entertainment, man. There should be more care and love and even more respect for these people when they talk, man. Just respect them. Because it's for entertainment, your entertainment. For your stupid entertainment. All right, I'm going to catch y'all later. Peace.